If you've got a name, then share it with me. We will talk, 'cause I am Tony. So voice your voice with Tony Voice.
Hello and welcome to the last in the series of the only radio show with genuine spunk. It's Tony Voice, voicing his voice once more for you dirty listeners. Now, as many of you know, today's show is our last of the season, and what a season it's been. As usual, my co-presenter has once again broken his curfew conditions and made his way here. So Wayne, any fond memories you'd like to reminisce about?
Oh, what are you saying? Sorry, Tone, I wasn't paying attention, man.
Wayne, this won't work if you don't even make a little bit of effort.
Nah, Tone, it's just, I'm a bit worried about the trial on that, man. Oh, Mike.
I know you are, Wayne, but as you said, you've already destroyed your hard drive, so you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, Tone. Anyway, what are you on about then?
I was hoping to talk about some of the highlights of the last few weeks. I mean, we've had exotic dating, royal descendants, Craig Ball, Mr. Satan. I mean, you must be able to pick up an anecdote of one of those.
I don't know what you mean there, Tone. Oh, my.
Okay, well, it's like when you were on that embarrassing reality TV show, Deal or No Deal. I mean, you were talking about that for weeks.
What do you expect? That Noel fucking Edmonds had it in for me from the start, man.
Wayne, threatening to kidnap the banker's kids is not in the rules of the game. I mean, if you ask me, you're lucky you didn't press charges.
The game's rigged.
He offered you a deal at £70,000, Wayne.
Yeah, I was on a fucking streak, man. You might as well be throwing money away, Tone.
Okay, let's just move on, shall we?
Oh, so this is the last show, Tone?
Well, the producers might give us a second season, but we're not for renewal just yet. We'll just have to wait and see there, Wayne.
Well, if they know what's good for them, they'd renew this motherfucker.
Wayne, language.
All right, man, no need to wank over it. So what we're doing today, like?
Today's show is all about current affairs, Wayne.
Currents and what?
No, It's about the news, Wayne.
Oh, yeah, I was on that once. It was all about that baby P or something.
That's right, Wayne, only we'll be discussing things that are happening right now, such as the MP's expenses scandal or the recession.
Oh, I can't fucking wait, Tone.
Oh, can you please sound a bit more enthused about this, Wayne? It affects you, you know.
Look, Tone, I mean, I live on a boat in the fucking Reza. Me and Mike survive off whatever we can catch, and between ragging kids or wrestling dogs, life is pretty good. So how the fuck does it affect me?
Just do the show, Wayne.
Oh, and who's this cockwasher?
This, Wayne, is our first guest. He's come on the show on behalf of fellow Labour backbenchers and ministers in light of their expenses claims. It's the one and only Home Affairs Minister, Charles Duckhouse. Welcome to the show, Charles.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Now, Charles, you've recently sprang to the defence of your fellow ministers after some extraordinary claims that verge on the fraudulent. I mean, how can you possibly justify this?
Listen, this is not a case of criminality. It is a case of a mere system in need of reform. None of these cases, in my opinion, even flirt on the criminal.
Speaking of flirting, I mean, it says here that your representative for Oldham has spent over £20,000 on escort girls and in some cases rent boys. I mean, what do you have to say about that?
Okay, so that one is a little weird. But in his defence, his performance has benefited vastly since his divorce, and I, for one, support his initiative.
Well, can you say the same about the taxpayers? Do you really think it's fair that we pick up the cost of mediocrity in the House of Commons? And what's more, do you feel that we need a general election in light of this?
I feel that a general election will only serve to cause commotion in this current climate. And we also feel that there is a strong possibility that we might not win this one at this moment. In addition, the longer we wait, the better chance his story has to diminish in the public light.
Look, I don't mean to be funny or anything, Tone, but this is fucking boring.
Okay, Wayne, what's your opinion on the matter?
All right, can you just tell us, like, what's going on, just the basics, like?
Okay, basically, the MPs are allowed to manage their own expenses for things that they need in order to do their job. Now, you got that so far?
All right, slow down. What's an MP?
Now, they represent a political party who help make changes to the way we live and how the country's run.
So it's a bit like a gang, yeah?
I suppose a little bit, yeah. But let's imagine that everybody in the whole country pays the gang to run it. Now, let's say that some members in the gang are taking advantage of their position and stealing money from everybody in the country to buy extra wheel trims or a new HD TV. Now, do you think that's fair, Wayne?
Nah, Tone, man, that's fucked up. So you're telling me that this bumfucker is in a gang?
Excuse me, I don't think that's called for.
Apologies for him, Mr. Duckhouse. He represents our working class listeners.
Oh, very well. I'm not going to catch anything, am I?
Just don't touch him.
Well, I'm just saying, you look like a fucking librarian.
Now, back to the issue. I've read this week that Mr. Duncan Sidenipple, the Minister of Health, has claimed over £30,000 of both of his homes, claiming them both as second homes. Now, for the benefit of our listeners, can you please reveal which one he actually lives at?
Mr. Side Nipple currently resides in a wheelie bin outside Kentucky Fried Chicken in Waterloo, meaning that there is absolutely nothing illegal in what he's doing.
Well, further along this report, and I mean, this is shocking, I've read that he's actually sublet his 5-bedroom house in Exeter to an extremist Islamic sect who are using the property as a stronghold for an Islamic uprising. Can you possibly verify this report?
Well, the report merely shows Mr. Side Nipple's ongoing support for the Islamic community, and although not necessarily in the best interest of this government, I for one commend his spirit.
Well, we've also opened the discussion for some of our listeners who are rightly enraged at this topic. Now, first we have Gordon from Inverness. Hello, Gordon.
No way, Tony. I have a wife and 3 kids. We don't have a lot, but we make do. I'm surprised at the arrogance of some of these MPs. I didn't ask for a lot, but what they do is spit in my face. How can you live with yourself?
Now, there's going to be a lot of jealousy with what the process means at this moment. There will always be a divide, and many lower-class people are always going to be envious of the upper echelon. Now, we must remember that beyond this witch hunt, we have a group of MPs that have worked relatively modestly during their career, and that, for me, is what's important. Also, as you know, us MPs have become accustomed to a certain way of living and a level of comfort, and I think that needs to be taken into account and alongside with these reports.
Okay, next on the line is Graham from Harrow. What do you have to say, Graham?
Hello, Tony. I'm currently in the bath, and I've been listening to you all week on my Walkman. I would like to know if my restraining order has been relaxed yet. I've made you a collage of me and you in the tub and...
Okay, I think that's all the time we have for phone calls. Now, thank you again for talking to us on the show, Mr. Duckhouse. Now, we have a few emails about the current scandal with our MPs, all along the sort of same lines, really. James from Whitby writes, Dear Tony, I'm sick and tired of accepting such a spineless group of politicians taking this country for granted. It's about time for change. Thanks for that, James. Cole from Bristol sends us, Dear Tony, this is time for a nationalist revolution. We need to take ownership of our own land and return power to the white man. Vote BNP. Okay, that one's a little off topic. Graham from wait, let's not have that one. Delete. And finally, Helen from Wolverhampton wishes us very well with the last episode and can't wait for the new season. Thank you very much, Helen.
Look, Tone, no offence, but this episode is a bag of fish shit, man. You need to spice it up a bit.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Wayne. Current affairs are a little dull. But what do you suggest?
Oh, it needs more sex appeal, man. More like explosions and fucking maybe a bit of rape or something, man.
Well, how about we take a short advertisement break and think of something while we're waiting?
Yeah, I'm dying for a wank as well. Just hope Mike's still around.
Okay, see you soon on Tony Voice.